author of over 10 craft how-to books, ranging from polymer clay to jewelry making. She has appeared on many crafting shows on TV and on the web. Currently, she is the host of Friendly Plastic TV and is the product spokesperson. Today, Linda's taking us back to the basics with beginning jewelry making techniques. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Tiffany, and thanks for everyone for joining us and for kind of being patient while we work through the internet. I think the internet knows it's Monday, so. And I do have one quick suggestion for Anne. Sometimes this happens to me. Sometimes your mic is set on your computer settings instead of on your webcam settings. So if you'll change it over, mine gets changed over like that sometimes, and then my microphone goes off. But anyway, like Tiffany said, we're going to jump back to the basics and do some basic jewelry making techniques, because I've been getting a lot of emails from people who want to learn how to make jewelry that have never done it before. So what I want to do is, first of all, before we begin, I want to ask you if you would raise your hand, please. There's a little raise hand button down in the corner of the left side of your screen. If you'd raise your hand if you have never made jewelry before, but maybe you want to. So if you'll raise your hand. Oh, good. We've got several. Good deal. Okay, now if you can put your hand down, I'll wait. We got a couple more popping up. Okay. Now, if you have made jewelry, if it's kind of your passion, if you love to make jewelry, it's what you do, if you sell it, would you raise your hand? Great. I see my friend Dee is in there, and Pat. Great, very good. Thanks, ladies. And if you would, please, just kind of write in the chat room what you like to do when you make jewelry. Do you like to bead? Do you like to do maybe the peyote stitch, or do you like to work with polymer clay? I'm just curious, because there's so much that you can do with beading, and there's so many reasons why you need to go back to the basics. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on the basics, and I'm going to turn my camera down so you can see my workspace. And what you're going to see here, I've got a little yellow card. Now, I mean, there's 100 different ways I could go with this segment, because there's so many things to making beads. But what I'm going to focus on today, I'm going to turn this around, is just a couple of the components that you need to attach. So our theme is kind of attach and using jump rings. Now these first two things here I have, this one's hard to see, but this one has a little, this is called a head pin. It has a little head at the end, and you use this to string beads on. This is called an eye pin because it's got a little loop at the end, and you can use this to attach jump rings to and create little danglies. So I'm going to be using a head pin in the project. We're going to make a really quick, very simple keychain, or you can use this as a handbag charm to kind of decorate your handbag. But jewelry making doesn't have to be time-consuming, and it doesn't have to be expensive. So that's why I like this project. The next here, you can see that I've got a variety of jump rings. They come in different sizes, as you can see. I've got big ones, and I've got this little teeny tiny one right here. And they come in different finishes. So this one here, these are tarnished. These are kind of antique gold. And you can also see that these two are oval. They come in silver. I use a lot of silver. And here lately, I've been using a lot of tarnished and antique because I've kind of gotten into the vintage theme. And again, they come in really tiny. So we're going to be using jump rings, the theme of our project. Okay. Now, what you'll want to do is you'll want to gather just a few supplies. So I have, this is a big lobster claw. You could also use a cell phone charm. So this is what you could do to attach it to your cell phone. And then just gather a couple of charms. So I've got a really big Swarovski crystal right here. It looks like this. And I've wire wrapped this on the end. And I've also added a little Swarovski little bicone bead. It's kind of hard to see. I've got a butterfly charm here, got a little heart charm, so a couple different charms. This could even be something that you've taken off of a broken piece of jewelry and you're going to remake it. And, oh, before I do that, I want to show you how to open a jump ring. So let me get a jump ring. See, look, I should be more organized than this, but I keep all my jump rings together in a little tin. So let me grab a jump ring. I'm going to grab a big one so that you can see it. Now, to open up a jump ring, I'm going to grab it with my pliers. Actually, I'm going to use two pairs of pliers. Now, these here are needle nose. You can use 2 needle nose, or this one here is a flat nose pair of pliers. See if I can do this to the camera. There we go. And I'm going to, hang on here. It's kind of hard to do it when I don't have my hands set. There we go. Okay, when you open a jump ring, you want to twist, open. Do not pull straight out. You want to twist it open, attach it to your toggle, to your chain, whatever it is you're going to do, and then twist it back closed. Like I said, this is kind of hard to do because my elbows aren't anchored here. And I want to, you see that? Twist it open, twist it closed. And that way you don't have a big gap, because if you have gaps in your jump rings, all your charms are going to fall off, or it's going to fall off your neck and you're going to lose it, and that's no good either. So what I've done is I have already put on jump rings onto each of these charms, and I'm going to attach it. Now I obviously attach the chain to this big lobster claw with a jump ring. This is just a little piece of chain that I have taken, or I have left over from another product or project, so you don't have to throw any of your little chain scraps away. And I'm going to add this to the bottom of the chain. Okay, so it's attached on the chain, and twist it back together. Okay, so I'll show you how that. And now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach the rest of my charms at various points on the chain. Let me pick this up. I think we'll do this one high. And put our butterfly on. You can put as many charms as you want to. You can add beads. But you can see that it's not really taking me any time at all. So this is one of the projects I think that I have in my, simply stated in my book, Beading in No Time. Okay, we've got all of our charms. Now let's add a cute little dangly that has a little bit of color. And this is on a head pin. So this little pin here has a stopper at the end. It's right down here. I know it's very hard to see. Let's see if I can do it up against the yellow. You might be able to see a little better. Or maybe I can bring it up to the camera. There you go. You can see that little stopper right there. And it's just a matter of placing beads onto the end of your head pin. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different pair of pliers. These you can see on these pliers, they have a little, I'm trying to get it to the camera so you can see. There's a little round end here, and this has an end like a pair of round nose pliers, and what that does is it lets me create a loop in my wire. So I'm going to twist it back a little bit, pull the wire around, and because I'm creating a loop on my head pin, I don't have to use a jump ring, but this is another way to attach. I'm going to trim off the excess. Here's my little dangle, and I can add my little dangle. Let me find my pair of pliers that I want. Anywhere on this chain that I want to. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so now you have little cell phone charm, little handbag charm, just something really fun. It's quick, it's easy, it's something that you can do in a variety of different colors. You can change these out real easy, and quick and simple. That's all I can say. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Tiffany. She's going to come back in, and then I'll set my camera up for my Q&A.